Welcome everybody to another stakes preview here at Twin Spires as we get the picture focused on Presque Isle Downs on Monday, their big day of racing, the Presque Isle Downs Masters and the Mile. And we are certainly pleased to have a man who knows quite a bit about Presque Isle, Patrick Morell, joining us to go over a couple of these races. We're going to focus on the Mile here first, but Patrick, your big day of racing of the year. I know you guys have to be pretty pumped up out there in Erie, PA.
No doubt about it. This is absolutely an excellent place to race. And this is our crown jewel, of course, is the Masters Day. We have 4 stakes on tap for everyone, for all of our fans. Obviously, the Masters, the crown jewel. We have the Presque Isle Mile. A lot of great horses coming in for that. We added 2 new stakes this year, the Dobbins Landing and also the Gem City for the fillies. So a lot happening here. We added 1 more additional race for the card. So it's usually an 8-race card, but we're now at 9. We have a special time to make sure that basically, everyone can get out of work and still come to the races. We start at 4:10, which is different than our usual 1:30.
Yep, different post time, an extra race, and that means that the late pick 5 is going to start in race 5. And the Presque Isle Mile is a part of that late pick 5, which, oh, by the way, at Twin Spires, you can opt in. And if you hit the pick 5, you will share in an additional $5,000 in one of our great hit it and split it promotions for the late pick 5 at Presque Isle Downs. Let's dive right in to this Presque Isle Mile Stakes. You have a field of 9 set to go postward. I guess the conversation will start with the morning line favorite, Carpenter's Call, who has won his last 2 starts rather convincingly over the synthetic surface at Presque Isle. He's got a grade 1 line to his credit as well in the United Nations. He was 3rd in the Appleton. Obviously, this is a horse that's just oozing class coming into this.
No doubt about it. And I'll tell you what, these tourists, and one of the biggest things there that I have noticed, I've done this show for 4 years here at Presque Isle now, and I've noticed something being an old pedigree guy. I ran a couple stallion divisions in Kentucky. So pedigrees are extremely important with our racetrack because of the Tapeta. And I've noticed an emerging sire line, and there's several of them. Animal Kingdoms are great here. Temple Cities are great. Tourists are now starting to really shine here at Presque Isle Downs. And this horse being by tourists, and like you just spoke a minute ago, this horse ran in the United Nations, albeit it was 6th. He was only beat 4.5 lengths. He came in last time, ran into Peachtree, and just dominated this field. He was a little bit over even money, 6-5 favorite that day, and they just couldn't catch him, no doubt about it, including Surly Furious, who is right next to him, the stall right next to him in the 4-hole. That horse owns the track record here for 6 panels at Presque Isle Downs. I know they're going to stretch out here today a little bit, going a mile at 16th. Shouldn't be any problem for this horse whatsoever.
One of the wild cards in the field is a horse that's going to get a lot of attention, paramutually speaking, probably the second choice, and that's Title Ready. Patrick, this is a horse that obviously has danced some big dances. He's run into horses like Life is Good, Knicks Go, Olympiad. But obviously the big question mark here is going to be switching to the synthetic. He's by More Than Ready, who's been a prominent turf stallion throughout his career, and he could certainly get a synthetic runner. But Title Ready, you're going to have to really play a bit of a guessing game if you invest here, how he's going to handle the surface switch.
I don't think it's going to be any problem. I can tell you personally, when I worked in Kentucky, I actually had this horse. When I worked at Vinery, I was around More Than Ready every day. He was just a fantastic sire. We just lost him recently, which was a big hit to all of us who loved them. No question about that. But these horses run extremely well here. They're at Presque Isle Downs. Never really a problem whatsoever. And like you said, I actually like this horse better than Carpenter's Call on Monday in this spot. I think he's outstanding. He's been running in a lot of graded stakes races, and I love the fact that you touched on who he's been running against, like Life is Good. He ran against Bodie Express. Olympiad. Those kind of horses, absolutely outstanding. I think he has the back class to get it done. First time synthetic, being a More Than Ready, doesn't bother me a bit.
And he'll be the second choice, so you're getting a better price than the favorite. Oh, I pay a lot of attention to the Turfway Park meet over the winter, which is a similar, obviously, surface over there with the Tapeta. So I've come to realize that horses that show an affluence for the surface and perform well and consistently over it time and time again is often a key angle. Maybe it doesn't always get the job done in terms of winning, but you could build some exotics around horses that just simply fire over the racetrack. And I'm going to try to do that with Declared. Whether or not he's good enough to win him this spot is certainly a question. He was 19-1 behind Carpenter's call last time out, but he just does nothing but run well over the surface. He's moved up from a $6,500 claimer back in June to being a legitimate exotics player in this group, and he validated that with a good runner-up effort to the favorite last time out. You give him a chance to hit the board here.
Absolutely. I'm so glad you brought this horse up. And Darin, it's funny because this horse actually at the end of the meet last year, it was the next to the last day or the last day of the meet. You could have claimed him for 5,000. John Burke did that. He claimed the horse for 5,000, wintered him, came back, and this horse has moved up exponentially. No question about it. And the way he ran against Carpenter's call was absolutely outstanding. Another emerging sire line here at Presque Isle Downs. That's hard spun. That's his sire's Unbridled Song on the bottom. They love this surface. They do very, very well here. I love the way this horse is going. I talked to John the other day. He's just a consummate professional here. He's just an older gentleman, but has so many great stories and so good at what he does. He said this horse couldn't be getting any better right now. You're going to get a big price on this horse too. He could possibly upset this apple cart.
Great to have you on and give us some of that inside look and from the words from the backstretch. So we really appreciate that. We would be remiss to not mention the Canadian Invader for Kevin Attard and Harlan Estate. This is just a cool horse, Patrick. I mean, he runs well on just about everything. He's coming off a second place finish in the Grade 2 King Edward. He ran last year in the Queen's Plate as well as an Ontario bred. Interesting spot to bring him down, but they're going to take a chance here in the mile, sending this horse south of the border.
I mean, why not? He's 3 out of 5 on the synthetic up at Woodbine. 2 of those are victories. You got to love that. I mean, yeah, those stakes races that he was in, several of them, he did run in a Grade 3. He got drilled there at Del Mar, but they were restricted races, and I get that. But still, he comes back in the King Edward, like you said, obviously a non-restricted race, a Grade 2. He runs absolutely excellent. Gallardo back in the irons here for Kevin Attard. Got to like that. And I'll tell you what, Gallardo knows this racetrack, and he knows Woodbine too.
Yeah, he's another interesting contender in a really well-balanced field here of runners. It sounds like Patrick does like Title Ready quite a bit over Carpenter's call. I'm going to throw out Declared there as a horse to build your exotics around. Be sure to play this Presque Isle Mile with us at Twin Spires. And don't forget, race 5 starts that late pick 5 with the $5,000 hit it and split it jackpot. Be sure to be opted in there. And also come back and see our preview of the Presque Isle Downs Masters. Thanks so much for joining us, everybody. For Patrick Morell, this is Darin Zoccali. We'll see you again next time.